Welcome to another top 10 things to do, but this will be for end game questing on any account. So these are like great goals. There is one exception though, and I will not be counting it as like an end game, and that will be recipe for disaster. I know in a lot of cases, especially if you are an iron, the stews are a very good boost. However, the gloves, they're kind of good, but it's such a huge quest line. You have to do pretty much everything and monkey madness and all that stuff. And the gloves, to me, they're not worth it. And that's because in my inventory right now, you will see I have atrocious rogue gloves. These are far better than the barrels gloves you will even get. And these are so much better because it takes about 48 minutes max if you are boosting deathmatch, which I highly suggest you do that. All you have to do is find 2 people and then equip chins and just kill them right by each other, and that is the best possible way to get points. And of course, if you have 3, 4, or even 5 friends, more the merrier. You'll probably be able to do this in like 20 minutes because each game is 10 minutes. So yeah, just keep in mind I won't be including recipe for disaster in any of the important quests, as I don't think it's worth it in my opinion. Now let's begin. First off, and again these are not in any order, but it will be unlocking spellbooks. You'll need to complete the quest Desert Treasure, which unlocks ancients, and you'll need to complete the quest The Light Within to unlock curses. And what I mean by curses is like the saving spells. And it does also give you access to crystal shapeshifters, which might be good for a potential moneymaker as well. Next up will be some very good DPS upgrades, and that would be the quest The World Wakes, which unlocks swiftness, sunshine, and natural instinct. I believe it also unlocks Phalanx Strike, but let's be honest, that's a useless ability. It's only good for PvP, which I don't know if it's even popular nowadays. But Swiftness and Sunshine is a massive upgrade for your account, and when you use it, it has a 60-second cooldown and it lasts for 30 seconds. If you have the Planted Feet perk, it will last an additional 6 to 7 seconds extra. And while you're in there, you'll deal 50% more damage. And then Natural Instinct. It's pretty much good for tanking, as it gives you extra adrenaline, so right after you use the ultimate, you can quickly build to Devotion or even Barricade and Immortality. And it will be mostly useful for raids. And then the Elder Kiln. This unlocks the best in slot capes for a long time until you can do a Zuck. Not flawless, but you have to do it without even banking. And in a lot of cases that is very hard. And of course, the Elder Kiln, to me, it was very, very easy. You could do this with tier 80 weapons. Just keep in mind it may take you about 45 minutes. Next up is going to be 2 very long quest lines, and that will be Branches of Darkmire, which gives you access to a tier 78 augmentable Sun Spear weapon that you can right click and then change it to all 3 styles. This will be very good for Planted Feet, as you can use it for both range and magic. You just have to make sure you swap it when you swap the style. Sadly, you're only able to get 1 of them. You can't have like 1 magic and then 1 range. So that's like the only downside. You have to remember to even change it. And then once you do this quest, you have access to killing Vyres, which for Iron is a very viable method to getting 95 prayer. And speaking of 95 prayer, if you complete the quest Temple of Sisistine, you'll be able to unlock curses, which is Soul Split, Turmoil, Anguish, and Torment. These are very recommended as it only requires 95 prayer, so I mean, it's pretty lengthy, but it does make your time worth it, especially when you're doing virus, as you'll get a lot of money back. And then what the DPS prayers give you is about 15 to 18% extra DPS over the standard spellbook. So this is a massive upgrade. It just takes a while to get, as it's 95 prayer. Next up will kind of be skilling buffs. This, I mean, it could be good, but it's not really suggested, as I mean, it takes a lot, and you want to complete the plagues, and which requires 18 skills to be 75 plus. Now this is a very painful grind for a lot of iron players, but it's extremely worth it. And then once you have access to Brithinius, once your stats are about 82 and then 90 plus, you'll be able to start skilling around the area, and then you can do harps for easy crafting experience, as crafting's pretty painful as in iron. And then while you're also skilling, if you can do the Sliske's endgame quest, you'll get access to training. I believe it's mining, and then it's room crafting, and I forgot the other one. I think it was hunter too. It's pretty good for gathering skills, and you'll get like a ring of whispers, which will give you either +2 or +3 invisible boost, so it can help you for that. And then periodically you'll get a little, not a Gustinian butterfly, but some type of whisper orb thingy that you can click on for experience. It's not good, but it's very passive, and it's pretty good for rune crafting, as it makes your pouches not degrade. And then lastly, the two quests that are pretty important would be unlocking main hand weapons and offhand weapons and armor and stuff. Now the very first one is the quest While Guthix Sleeps. This unlocks access killing tormented demons for dragon claws and then dragon limbs. These limbs can be used to make the future ascension crossbows once you kill Legos for it, which it does take quite a while, but they're pretty easy to kill. You just have to make sure you're having a dark light. Now for Summer's End, I'm not sure if this is considered end game, but with Summer's End quests, you gain access to killing corporeal beasts. And with him, you'll be able to get a lot of Onyx Bolts E, cannonballs, white berries, and you'll be able to get the 4 spirit shields. Now keep in mind, using these shields does smite your prayer, so you do have to be careful with that. And the reason why I put this up here is because once you start getting to like very end game, those spirit shields will be massive, because it gives you, I believe, 25 or 30% damage reduction. So if you're basing or bomb tanking or anything, it could be very, very game changing for you, and it will make your life so much easier with that damage reduction. You just have to keep in mind it does drain your prayer. And with that, that will be all the top 10 endgame quests that I personally think are very worth it. If you have any other quests in mind that seem to be good, you can put that in the comments below. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.